What? Why am I always in all caps? What's up? Okay, I'm just gonna eat this banana until more people come onto this live. Because I'm really freaking hungry. So sorry about it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try doing this in a not gross way. I'm gonna eat this banana because I'm really hungry and I just got home from work. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna chat. Hello, yay, we have people. I never know if anyone will show up. That's the scariest part of doing lives. Like, will people actually show up? Because who knows, maybe one day they won't. Look what we're doing. We're just gonna sit here and eat a banana. How's it going, guys? How is everybody doing? I'm gonna go live for like 30-40 minutes today. We'll see how it goes. I look so tired, but I'm fine. Hopefully you guys are having a good Wednesday. It is so dark and so rainy in Seattle, and traffic was not good. It's weird because you would think people that live in Seattle would be like really used to like driving in the rain. They're just not. Like when it rains, people are worse. Like people are terrible drivers. I just don't really get that. Like you've been doing it for quite a while. Why are you not like a pro at it? You know what I mean? Have you seen The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? I have. I watched, I think, like 2 episodes, and then like I just didn't continue. Okay, let me just say this. I grew up on the series, like the one with Melissa Joan Hart. Grew up on that. Think there was a cartoon. Also grew up on that. Like loved that show. But for some reason, I like really had a hard time getting into this version of it. And also, I feel like they I would have loved to watch it during like Halloween or October, and they like brought it on at the end of October, and I just was like over it at that point. So let me know if I need to give it another shot. It looks really good. I just did not get into it as much as I thought I would because I did really love the old one. But maybe I need to give it another shot. Just gonna. People in the Midwest are same about snow. Everyone freaks out. No, I get it. I used to drive in the snow and it was awful. I was for sure one of those people that freaked out because driving in the snow is so much harder than driving in the rain. Like snow driving that's like literally one of the reasons I moved because I hated driving in the snow. It's tough. Lots of people just can't drive. That's also very true. I had a huge crush on Melissa Joan Hart when I was a kid. LOL, Aaron. That's so funny. Eric Truth, so many bad drivers in Seattle. There we go. Yeah, they are totally different shows. Very true. Okay, so while I'm talking with my mouth open, let me just address a few things. So I posted 2 videos this week, one on Sunday, one on Monday. Been getting a lot of nice comments, but I've also been getting a lot of really nasty comments. I've had to block quite a few people, which is like super great and fun. I'm aware that that Tukwila is not technically South Seattle, but the reason I labeled that video as like the truth about living in South Seattle, I just want to like chat about this for like a quick second, was because when Gus and I were searching for places, whether that was in Wisconsin or here, Tukwila, for some weird reason, comes up as South Seattle. Like if I was looking for a place on Craigslist, it would just be kind of like lumped up as South Seattle. I get why they do it. It's a marketing thing. I understand that it's not South Seattle, but I wanted to make a video where people, first of all, found the video, but also were aware that like, oh, when I'm looking on Craigslist or looking on Zillow or whatever they're looking, that is technically kind of considered South Seattle, and then it's farther than Seattle is. So I'm really sorry if the video was misleading or just not what you hope to click on. I just think that as a transplant, you don't know what South Seattle necessarily is. And when you're searching for a place, Tukwila and Renton, they come up as South Seattle. Even though I get that they're south of Seattle, they just come up as like South Seattle. So yeah, that's why I labeled it that. I think I'm just going to keep it because I feel like it is helping people kind of decide a lot. When you're searching as a new person, you see a lot of Rentons and Tukwilas, and you're like, oh, that looks like a great place to live. And I just wanted to like give you guys my feedback on that. So yeah, and even like bouncing off of that, the other video I posted was like advice for moving to Seattle. Like, I just want to say this, like, Seattle is a great place to live, but that was just like some advice I wish I would have been told when I was moving to Seattle. And I totally get that you cannot please everyone. Like, there was some really great people on that video that commented some amazing, nice things, supportive things to each other, which is what I love seeing, like when you guys help each other out in the comments. But then there was a few trolls, and it really got to me, and it made me really upset and sad. And that's why I feel like I have not been able to go on to those videos and like respond to questions and answer everybody's comments, because it just like brings me to a weird place. So I know I need to get over that. But I just post my Seattle videos in the hopes of like helping a few of you out. I'm no expert in Seattle. I've only been here for 2.5 years, almost 3, which is a long time, but I'm still like learning, and I make mistakes just like everybody else. So I'm sorry if you were offended by any of those videos. They were just my opinion, and that's like all I got. I only have my opinion, you know, so that's it. I'm done talking about that. Okay, we got some people. Let's see. My feet are falling asleep. There's so much traffic, especially at 5. Yes. That's so exciting. Oh my God, the 26th of December, that's going to come so quick. Let me quickly adjust because I look gross right now eating this banana. And I need to just like raise my chair a little bit so I don't have to sit on my feet. Okay. Did you find anything to do for New Year's yet? Still looking for New Year's. Ooh, the Nest is doing a live concert. That'd be super fun. I don't really know what I'm doing for New Year's, although I do need to figure it out. I would love Yolink with you when I get. Oh, so nice. Love your Q&As. You made Seattle a little easier to navigate while visiting. Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so happy that like any videos, any Q&As can help. You have any suggestions for EIG here for the holidays? I'm trying to figure out what that means. Do you have any suggestions for like things to do on the holidays? I know that Bellevue does like snow every night, and that's like already started. So like if you go downtown, they do like they drop fake snow and they have like a whole marching parade. That's like fun. There's Enchant Seattle. There is just a bunch of little fairs, I feel like, throughout December, which is really fun. But they definitely try to make it like a cozy, warm experience. I would check out Enchant Seattle. I think that's a thing. It's basically like, I haven't been there, but you're supposed to feel like you're in a snow globe when you are there. So it looks pretty cool. They have a website and stuff. I hate when sometimes on these lives, it'll like, I don't know if you guys can see this too, but it'll be like, oh, like you need to review this message before you can like show it. And they like, I get it because they won't like allow people just to say like fuck or shit or whatever. but like obviously I'm gonna allow a comment if it says fuck. But I get why. I get it. Did you ever think of living in New York? No, I did not think of that. I think, first of all, I've never been to New York, so I don't know what New York is like. I hear it's nothing but incredible. However, I feel like since I grew up kind of in the country, I really don't want to be in the middle of it all. I want to be able to get to the city really close. And New York, I feel like it's just way too congested for me. However, you know, you never know until you visit. I really want to check out New York. It's also so expensive. I don't know if I could fathom paying like such a large amount for not like an extremely nice place, if that makes sense. Don't let the negative people get you down. Oh, thank you. I really like your videos that keep up the content. Thank you so much. What's your skin regimen? You have nice skin. Oh, thank you. Lots of water. Try to drink lots of water. I have extremely bad allergies. So since I was little, I've had these like permanent like dark purple circles, and I was always I'm still self-conscious about them, but I've always had them. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. But just drink lots of water. As of lately, I've only been using concealer, which is nice because sometimes foundation can get like kind of heavy, especially in the winter when your skin, like my skin gets really dry in the winter. So I try to add oil to my foundation or oil to moisturizers, things like that. And I always try to do like 3 masks a week, like whatever mask that may be. I love the masks. Do the masks. Lush has amazing masks. I'm going to stop saying masks. Let's see. I don't, those persons who comment bad things, be strong and keep posting. You're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. It's so weird because I always like, I feel like I have a pretty thick skin, but sometimes it's just not fun to read mean comments. So my biggest fear of moving to Seattle is transportation. Even in Louisville, I have never used public transportation. I'm going to be a teacher when I go to move there, so I have to be okay, sure. Just lots of fears of transportation wise. Yeah, no, I think that's like a question everybody has, and I am in the same boat with that. Like, depending on if you bring your car or not. I don't remember, Robert, if you said you were gonna. I remember we chatted like last time you were on. The transportation system is really good. I don't know the bus system that well. However, I've had friends master it like that. I've had friends really try to understand it, and they get it really quickly. The light rail system is beyond easy. If I can figure it out, I know you can figure it out. I'm not really sure what you would be using. I'm trying to see if you wrote anything transportation wise, but literally like go into it and be like, I'm going to tackle this. The thing with the bus system is you can't rely on the bus system that much. Like, yes, it's going to get you there, but you might be late. So you really have to like plan accordingly if you're going to use the bus system. Ubers and Lyfts are always available, but that adds up to being, quite a bit of money. I know a lot of jobs as well, if you are going to be like close to the light rail station, offer like Orca cards or discounted Orca cards. If that's like your means of transportation. So make sure to look into that. So yeah, I hope that kind of helped. Let me know like how you're planning to get to work. I had somebody DM me today about, what's the commute like from Columbia City to Pike Place area. And I'm like, that's a really good question. And obviously, like, yes, you can Google that for yourself, but from my experience, and it depends what you take. Are you walking there? Are you riding your bike there? Are you taking the light rail? Are you busing it there? There's so many different ways you can get there. And you just kind of have to factor a lot of little things in. But yeah, I totally get the fear of transportation. It's a big one. Let me finish this banana. You guys, this is the last week of Whole30. Thank the Lord. I cannot wait to have a glass of wine. I'm thinking of doing a live. So I have a really good, my best friend is coming this week. And I'm like, we should just do like a drunk live, or not even a drunk, but just like a tipsy live, because I probably will get tipsy off of like a glass of wine. Okay, I'm missing a lot of things. Let me scroll up really quick. We're just pronouncing tequila wrong. Tequila, tequila, same thing, dude. I'll be flying into Seattle, but we'll actually be in Shoreline. I plan on finding a place there, but I've never heard you mention it. Have you ever been? I have been to Shoreline. Shoreline is nice. It's like Seattle. Like it has nice parts and then kind of not so nice parts, and then nice parts and then not so nice parts. But I do know some people that live there and they absolutely love it. So Shoreline is hit or miss. And I'm guessing you're commuting to, trying to find your other comment. Are you commuting from Shoreline to Seattle? That's my question for you. Okay. How far have you explored outside Seattle? Considering moving to Puyallup area, but I don't know much about it. Yeah, I have been to Puyallup. Puyallup has like the state fair over here. This is my thing. Washington State is so freaking beautiful, you guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. I am a pretty liberal person, or I don't even know if I'd say liberal. I am pretty liberal, but I like to surround myself with a mixture of different kinds of people, whether that's race, color, ethnicity, foods, whatever. I want all of it. I want just like an abundance of different kinds of people. When you step outside of Seattle, like Seattle, like, and its surrounding areas, like Puyallup, it just gets more Republican. And I don't even think Republican is the right word. It gets more conservative. And I grew up in Wisconsin, and I'm very used to that, and I don't want to live by that. So if you want to live in a very conservative area, Puyallup is great. I think that's a great place for you. And that's not just Puyallup. I feel like that's really anywhere you step outside of like the Seattle main area. I need to close this. My neighbors are going to be like, the fuck? Yeah, just in general, like if you step outside of Seattle's main area, it just becomes extremely conservative. It's just not my thing. But if you are into that, I say do it, research it. They've got some beautiful homes over there. It's so much, I don't want to say cheaper. It's just, it is cheaper. It's much cheaper than Seattle and the surrounding areas. So I totally get why people would want to be over there. Just my opinion though, make sure you do your research. How far, okay, just wrote that one. Do you jog in Seattle? I do not jog. I hate jogging. I hate it. I'm not good at it. So the answer to that is no. Melania Trump has a red Christmas tree. That's the notification I just got on my phone. Okay. Do you feel alone there? Sometimes. Yeah, I would say sometimes. I feel very fortunate that I have Gus and I have Frank. One of the main reasons I bought Frank, which is my cat, he's sleeping right now, is because I was really sad and really lonely. And at the time, I just really wanted a friend. And I bought him, and he really, like, he is my therapy cat. He really just, like, helped in that aspect. He helped fill that void in my life, as did you guys, like, doing YouTube and stuff. That, like, has helped too. Anyways, bus system is really easy. Only issue I've ever had is sometimes the buses can be late, leave way earlier than we need to. Yeah, totally. That's what I've heard as well. I have hereditary dark circles, which got worse with my allergies. It is so frustrating. They get so bad. People ask me if I'm tired, or even worse, if someone punched me in the eye. Totally relate to you on that. I thought about getting fillers under my eyes, just because it's supposed to, I think, pump like more of like a white under your eyes, which will kind of cancel out the purple. I'm just way too scared to do it, and I don't know how much that costs, but it's something I honestly, within a heartbeat, would get, because mine are really, really bad too. Like I don't like leave. I mean, obviously, like I've done videos with no makeup, but I just feel so much more comfortable when they're like a little covered versus not at all, because the worse my allergies are, the darker they get. It's totally bad, and I totally feel you on that. Have you ever been to Leavenworth? Have you ever been to any of the wineries near Seattle? Actually, I have been to a winery in Woodinville, which was really fun. They have a bunch in Woodinville though, right? Like they have a whole strip that you just can go down of like wineries, which is really cool, or drive down, I should say. I have not been to Leavenworth. It is on my bucket list to do. Don't know why I haven't done that, but I do really want to go. Think about this. The haters are just people who probably don't have a life, so they're trying to hurt some. Totally. No, I think that's the best way to look at it when people are, and the worst part about it is like some of the people, like they're not, I don't think they intend to be mean or intended to be haters, whatever that means, but like they just come off really rude and like very like, this girl has no idea what she's talking about, unsubscribe from her, or like things like that. And it's like totally like, I am all about it. Like if you do not believe in my videos, please unsubscribe from me. I get it. Like I don't want anybody to be subscribed to me that doesn't like my videos. So it's like, I totally get it. And yes, it's essentially a bully. You got to be nicer to them because you never know what they're going through. I came from Jacksonville, Florida, which is basically non-existent public transportation. So I was nervous, but it was really easy to learn. Oh my gosh, great, Katie. Thank you. Thank you for writing that. There you go. Like Katie said, it was pretty easy, and she came from, that's awesome. That is so great. Thank you, Katie. I think the biggest struggle I'm having for teaching in Seattle is, do I want to live close to the school I work, or do I want to live in Cap Hill? No, I totally get that. Or a place that I feel fits me. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure a question. So my friend that is coming, she's my best friend from Wisconsin. She's a teacher, and she had this problem as well. Like, do I live in the same town that I'm teaching school and things like that? So if we do a Q&A on probably Saturday or Sunday, maybe Sunday night, I will for sure have her answer that question, because that's a really good question. And I feel like if there's so many teachers out there, like you guys are all doing God's work with that. So that'd be kind of a fun Q&A. Hey, thinking of moving to Seattle from New York City. I'm wondering how much you think you need to make in order to live comfortably in the city. Yeah, good question. So I always say like $40,000 to live comfortably, and I don't even know if that would be comfortable. Like, you probably are still living somewhat paycheck to paycheck if you're making 40 grand a month. Obviously, the more you can make, the better. And if you budget your money really well, you can make it work. And you can make anything work if you budget really well and really are responsible with your funds and money. But yeah, I would say to live somewhat comfortably, 40 grand. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it is. Sorry if you answered this already, but would love to get your thoughts. Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's totally fine. I feel like these Q&As are just, I usually just kind of repeat what I say, which is fine, because sometimes, like for me, like I need to hear things more and more to understand them. So like it totally is totally fine. I plan to work in Seattle, but I will have my car shipped over after I get there, because I will be there in 2 weeks. I will be there for 2 weeks this year. I plan to work in Seattle, but I will have my car shipped over after I get there. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you're planning to work in Seattle, I feel like any type of transportation would be good. Bus system, light rail. Light rail is great. I mean, it just brings you right to Nordstrom, and you can kind of navigate where to go from there. But obviously, yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. Let me scroll up really quick. Seattle. Okay, yeah, Shoreline, right? So Shoreline doesn't have a light rail station, so you would have to use like the bus system for sure then to go from Shoreline to Seattle, which probably will take you really close to like wherever you need to be, if that makes sense. Okay. During Seattle, but okay. Since living in Seattle, has your family visited you? Yes, they have. My family has visited me. She has said in a couple previous videos, and most video videos they ever make, about $50K. And yeah, no, 50K. If you can make 50K, you're. I feel like that is comfortable. I just feel like at a minimum, you would want to be making like 40K. And that depends on your living situation, right? Like you could be sharing with 5 other people. Everybody's situation is so different, so it's really hard for me to put like an exact number on that. I mean, if you're making 50K, you're going to be fine living alone or with people. But there's so many different ways you can live here, right? Like there's cheaper neighborhoods. There's apartments with where you can live with like 5 or 6 other people, things like that. So yeah, it's kind of just like whatever you want to make work, you can make work. Does that make sense? Okay, so we are at 26 minutes, so I'm gonna go for like another 15 minutes or so, if that works for you guys. Okay, I have not tried Ethiopian food. It's something I really need to try. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a lot of meat in Ethiopian food? Question for you. That's not too bad. Way better than New York City. I feel like New York City is so expensive. If you can make it in New York City, you will for sure make it in Seattle. Just my opinion. I've met up with a lot of people that are from New York, and they always say like, oh, it's not an issue. Like they have no problem, and I'm over here like, oh my god, it's so expensive. But like people that move from New York City or especially like San Francisco area, like they have no issue living here at all. In Seattle is like living check by check. I agree. It is like living check to check. Like when you're in Seattle, like what does he say? I mean, in some places in Seattle, a 50K salary will not get you an approval for a studio. Very true. He's 100% correct about that. It's just, it depends. Like it depends where you're moving or what kind of situation you're trying to live in. Yeah. And also, if you know somebody, like, man, when Gus and I first moved here, we were like, it would be so great if we knew somebody, because when you know somebody, they know somebody, they know somebody, they know a landlord, and then you just like, you get the deals, you know, and that's never the case. But you know somebody, it'll also be cheaper. If 50K is enough to get by, that's not bad. 50K is nothing in New York City. I love New York City, but my God, it's crazy expensive over here. Absolutely. Have you been to Portland? And if so, what do you think about it? I have been to Portland. I went to Portland about a year ago. I got really sick when I was there. So I always feel like I can't give like a great critique about it. It was quiet. It was too quiet for my likings. It was really weird, which I thought was awesome. Like keep Portland weird. That's such a true thing. It was so odd and different. The people were really different, which was really cool. But it was so quiet. Like when we were just walking around the city, I was like, where is everybody? Like it just seemed so empty. So I will be going back to Portland in 2019. So I will give you a better like answer probably next year. 50K is okay outside of the city. Okay, she's got opinions. Yeah, I guess, you know, maybe 50K is not enough for some people. I will say this. I feel like I haven't said this before. I'm comfortable and I'm not making 50K. Ooh, like I don't usually throw numbers out, but like you can make a lot of things work. It just depends what your situation is, you guys. I never want to tell somebody that it's just not like enough, because there's people that I know here that are making less than that. I'm making less than 50K and I'm doing okay. Like I feel comfortable, I feel fine. But yeah, to each their own, and everybody's situation is completely different. Let's see. Let me scroll down for a second. Show. Oh man, what do you think is okay? Like, for example, a studio apartment will run you at least 1.8 in Manhattan. It's very rare, if not possible, to find anything cheaper. Okay, Nestor, let me just, um, 65K with no debt. If you have student loans and other things, it gets complicated, approval stuff, for sure. Yeah, okay. I'm not disagreeing with Manuel at all. Like, he clearly knows what he's talking about, for sure. I just think that if you're buying, it's a completely different story. If you're renting, you can make it work on 50K. Is it going to be extremely comfortable? It depends where you're living. It depends what your situation looks like. Um, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. So I feel like Nestor, like, like, you can find a really nice, in my opinion, studio here for 1.8 or $1,800. Like, if you can afford to live on your own and you have $1,800, I think that you can find a really nice place over here. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Is Portland a sad city? My image of Oregon past like scenes of Motel Bates is Portland is a very moody city. I feel like it has a very specific vibe, and it's dreamy in its own sense. It's a little sad, but it's beautiful. You know, it has some really great things over there. Uh, let's see. Hey, so I've been looking at moving to Seattle after graduation. Do you think there are opportunities for someone with a marketing degree? Absolutely. I feel like with a marketing degree, you can go anywhere. Like, marketing degree is so versatile, and there's so many people that there's so many people that want marketing people, and also there's a lot of startup companies here that need marketing people. So absolutely, it's a great place for marketing people with degrees. Rachel, you're invited to visit Brazil. Ooh, Brazil would be amazing. I gotta travel more, you guys. There are always there's always a vegan menu at any Ethiopian restaurant. Well, then I need to get my butt into an Ethiopian restaurant. Do you have any suggestions in Seattle? Are you based in Seattle? I would love to try Ethiopian food. Yum. We will make Seattle great again. We will make Seattle Republican. Trump, my love. Why are you always on my videos? Like you're just a troll, man. You're just a troll. We're just gonna hide you from the channel. Okay. Do you find neighbors in southern Seattle rude? Not necessarily helpful, just rude. My experience in contrast, Burien residential. Do you find neighbors in southern Seattle rude? Not necessarily unhelpful, just rude. My experience in contrast, Burien residents are much nicer. So when you're saying southern Seattle, what kind of towns are you speaking about? That's my question. Okay. I don't know if you're answering this question. So sorry if you're repeating yourself. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. But is Seattle, oh my God, these are moving so fast. But is living in Seattle everything you thought it would be? Is it harder than you expected? Ooh, I don't know if I've answered this question. It is much harder than I expected. And not for the reasons I thought it would be. Like, yes, Seattle is expensive. And I knew that was going to be kind of difficult, but it has been more of a strain on my mental state than anything else. It has been a really, really tricky city to get used to. And in my experience here, the people are just they're different than what I'm used to. So it's been really hard to get used to that. And I've been waiting for that to kind of let up and kind of change. And then, like, it just hasn't yet. And when I see comments like, oh, well, it's you, it's not the city, 100%. Like, I always go back to me and say, it's my fault that I'm not making friends, or it's my fault that I'm not putting myself out there. But after doing this for almost 3 years, it is the people to an extent. They're really hard to get to know, and they're hard to stay in communication with. They're hard to get out of their homes. Um, and I understand it because I'm now kind of one of them. So it's been really hard mentally, I think. More than like expense wise. It's just been, yeah, it's been a little trickier to kind of get to the swing of things. Yeah, if that answers the question a little bit. Let me scroll up a little bit. I saw some more. All this doesn't sound too bad. In New York City, you have to make 40 times the monthly rent. I heard that. So if you want to get a place, yes, I heard that. That is insane. Honestly, I just feel like if you can do New York City, you can do anything. Do not be scared to do Seattle. Like seriously, you're gonna be just fine. Just my opinion. What's your favorite thing about Seattle? My favorite thing about Seattle is, what's my favorite? That's a good question. I love how beautiful it is. I love that Seattle is so close to so many things. Like we're close to Canada, we're close to Oregon, we're close to mountains, we're close to the ocean. We're just close to a lot of things. I think that's so special as a city. And yeah, that's probably my favorite thing about Seattle. It's a really beautiful city to live in. Yeah. Have a good night, Robert. Okay, another thing that attracts me to Seattle is the tech scene. I'm a techie, which is absolutely blooming in Seattle. Yes. If you're a techie, you will thrive in Seattle. There's so many. And that's awesome. Seattle, yes. Only place that rains religiously for 9 months straight out of the year. Isn't that the damn truth? Oh God, Rebecca, I'm so sorry. It's just like not fun. Like Tukwila was really hard. It was a tough place to live in, and I just say meet up with people, do as many meetups as you can. I'm literally eating this from a jar. I'm hoping to do a meetup very soon in 2019. You know that feeling when you like eat peanut butter and your whole mouth is just like, it's happening right now. It's happening right now. Okay. So yeah, Rebecca, do some meetups, get on Bumble BFF. Don't stay in, like try to do stuff. Like it's so easy to stay in when you're over there, but try to do as much as you can. And find a hobby. My God, find a hobby because that will take your mind off of all of it. How is Seattle different from the Midwest? Oh my gosh, it doesn't snow here. I mean, and if it does, it's like very little bit of snow that we get. So that's really nice. The people are different. The music scene is different. I did not appreciate, I'm not saying Seattle has a bad music scene because they don't. They have a great music scene. I didn't realize how good Minneapolis's music scene was, and even Wisconsin. Like, I didn't realize how good I had it until I left because I still miss, like, I feel like Minneapolis has such an amazing underground rap scene and hip hop scene. And then, like, I grew up on Bon Iver and, like, just wilderness, really comforting type of music. So I miss that a little bit here. I feel like sometimes I don't always get that, but Seattle has a great music scene as well. It's a little bit more grungy. So yeah, I miss that about the Midwest. With the rise of social marketing, do you think there is still a need for PR work? Yeah, I do think there's still a need for it, and I get why there wouldn't be, but there's a lot of PR companies here, and I think there's a lot more like influencers that are stepping out talking about why like sometimes social media marketing doesn't really work very well and how at times it's terrible for the environment. So I totally think that PR still works. So, I liked your energy when you were in California. I was very happy there. I'm always happy to be around the sun and good company. It's yeah, I was happy there. I like California a lot. Okay, so I have like 5 more minutes. So let me finish reading up some of these. Hello from Olympia. Hello. Do you believe there is a big designer scene in Seattle? Trying to think like designer as in like graphic design, video design, things like that, or like Louis and Prada type of design, like what kind? I am thinking of moving there, but I am kind of scared of the lack of design scene. Yeah, no, good question. Really good question. Gus and we both went to school for art and design. Um, and it was one of the reasons I moved out here. There's a huge creative circle over in Seattle, and design is a really huge part of that. Um, it's not the worst place at all. I feel like there's a lot of jobs when it comes to design over here, but I don't know if it's the best place, which sounds weird coming out of my mouth because literally Gus and I moved here for design jobs, whether that was video or editing or graphic design, whatever. But you know what? It's okay. It's not bad. I feel like there's a ton of jobs over here, like I was saying, but I feel like sometimes I'm just not I'm not in the design circle, so I don't know that much. But I do have some friends that are designers and things like that, and they have a bubble of designer friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna stop. Okay. Graphic design is huge over here. A lot of freelance work though, and some companies for sure. It's just not as huge as like maybe, I don't know. I always feel like New York, right? New York, California, even Austin is like, I feel like a great design area. And Seattle's not bad by any means. It's just not their number one thing, right? Like if you go to school, you want to go there for their number one thing. Maybe this is not their number one thing. I feel like we're really high up in tech over here. What else? Yeah, really high up in tech. I feel like there's a lot of different fashion things that are going on over here. But I mean, there is a lot of creative things as well. So I don't want to turn you off to that, but I would just do maybe some more research. Okay, we have 3 more minutes. Show. I'm addicted to travel. One of the reasons I want to move to Seattle is the flights are very affordable, even to Hawaii. Yes, very, very true. It's a good place to go if you want to travel. What attracted me to Seattle? The weather, and I thought it was a very creative place to be. I thought it was very up and coming and new, but I like felt a pull to come over here. So that's why I moved, essentially. Oh. I do kind of have a cough actually. Okay. Where do you meet people when they are all at home watching Netflix and ordering food? I went to a restaurant and food delivery people came in constantly and hello, yeah, that's the issue. I mean, any city's gonna have people that aren't really gonna want to go out, but it's tough because a lot of people get really comfortable and they don't really want to leave their homes, and I get it, especially when it's rainy all the time. But it for sure is tough, which is why people need hobbies when they're here. You need to have a good hobby or find one that you really like. And you need to push yourself to like get out because a lot of people don't do that. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to wrap up a little bit. I hope that you guys liked this live. If you did, please give me a thumbs up so I know that you like these. Subscribe if you aren't already. It's free and it helps me out, and it helps me be able to make videos like this. That's what subscribing does for me, so I really appreciate it. What else? Okay, I should say this. I've been getting a lot of Facebook requests, and I feel like I add almost everyone. It's just Rachel Waldorf. However, I am not on Facebook. It's the one platform that I do not answer any DMs or any messages that I get, just because for some weird reason on Facebook, I get a lot of really inappropriate messages and messages I just don't want to see. So I do not go on my messenger on Facebook. So if you want to get a hold of me, Instagram is honestly the best way. Just slide into the DMs and I will eventually get through them. I'm still trying to get through some of my other ones. Just be patient with me. I'm getting a little bit more than I used to. So I'm trying to answer people's questions as best that I can. And giving you also like the right feedback. So if you have any pressing questions, if you're really stressed out about moving or trying to figure out if this city is for you, just go to my Instagram. It's just Rachel.Waldorf, and you can message me there. Anyways, guys, I think that's all I have. Or Twitter. I do sometimes answer things on my Twitter, which is just Rachel Waldorf as well. Trying to think if there's anything else. If you want another live on Saturday or Sunday this week, give this video a thumbs up, and I will try to make that happen. It would be with Gus, and it would be with my other friend, and we would probably be a little tipsy, but I think it'd be really fun. And I know that they could for sure help answer some of you questions as well. It's always funner when there's more people in the lives, and if you're not doing anything on a Saturday or Sunday night, then it's fun to watch. So give this video a thumbs up, and I will kind of gauge if that's worth it, if I should do that, and if people would watch it, things like that. Anyways, guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming to this live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, thank you. I feel like I've said that so many times. I will see you guys in my next video. I appreciate all the love and support. I'm rambling. Okay, have a great night, guys. Bye.